Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Learning Blender. Today we're going to make a table. Now, we start off with the default setup with the default cube, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the scale. We're going to press S and then Z, and we're going to scale it down so it's pretty flat. And you see here, that's about the height of the table right there. It's looking all good. Now we're going to go into edit mode. And here is a brand new tool that is very important to learn. It's called Loop Cut. Now you can use this right here to help with selecting which side you want to loop cut, or you can use the shortcut Control R. Now, I will really recommend you use Control R. It makes it much easier, much faster. Because in Blender, the more shortcuts you learn, the faster you'll be able to make things. So we're going to do Control R, and as you see, these yellow lines are appearing. We want to have it going across either the x-axis or the y-axis like this, so across the cube. So now we're going to pull our scroll wheel up one, or you can go ahead and select once and then select again, and that will confirm this. And over here you can actually change the number of cuts. We want 2 cuts. So now we have an extra uh, rectangle here that we can move around. Now what we're going to do is we can use face select to select this top part and this bottom part. And then if you go to vertex mode or vertex select, you see we selected all of these vertices. So now we just need to make this a little thinner. So what we're going to do is we're going to press S and then Y. That way we can scale it down on the Y axis to make it about that thick. Now, if you loop cut this way, then you're going to have to scale on the x-axis. Just play around with the y and x-axis until you find something that will allow you to get something like this. So, just hang in here. We're going to use this soon later, but first we need to expand this out some more in a certain way so that we can get this kind of structure support on the bottom. So now we're going to select the sides, and instead of selecting and holding down shift on every single one, we can actually use alt to select kind of a loop around. You see it it selected this loop around. Just keep trying to press alt until you get alt select until you get something like this, that it wraps all around. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press E for extrude. And as you see here, it's pulling it out, but we don't want to move it. We want to scale it outward. So we're going to press S to scale. Now there's one problem with this. As we scale it outwards, it's also scaling up and down, and we do not want that. So there's a way for us to scale outwards on all the axes, except the Z axis. And that's simple by doing Shift Z. And as you see, it's a slight change from this angle. It shows a very bad angle, but if you were to look side on, you would notice that as we pull it out, it's actually not getting taller, and that's what we want. So we're going to pull it out right about here, and then select to confirm. And then we're going to do that once more. So Shift Z to scale on everything except the Z-axis. I forgot to press S. I was still in grab mode because whenever you extrude, it automatically puts you in grab mode. So that's my bad. And we're going to pull it out kind of like that. There we go. Now you may be wondering, Ethan, what's up with all of this? And I'm going to show you. So you should have a pattern kind of like this. If you don't, just try again, rewatch the video, pause it, take it slow. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to select all of this. Again, you can use Alt to select that. There we go, it finally figured out what I wanted. And then we're also going to use Shift Select to select this part here. And now we're going to press Extrude. And as you see now, you have a pretty good looking table with supports. Now that's pretty nice. So there we go, we have it all set up. Now you might have made it upside down, and that's okay. So how you can figure out if you made it upside down, just go and press this camera icon. And now you see, you can easily see it. So let me just, if yours looks like this, with these lines pointing up and all of this, you can see all the detail. This is the bottom side, so it's actually upside down like this. So yours might not be upside down, but if it is, it's a really easy fix. Press R, and then either press X or Y. It doesn't matter, but you just have to press one of those, and instead of just turning it around with your mouse, because it might not be right, it might be a couple of degrees off, instead, just type in 180. As you see here, it rotated perfectly 180 degrees. So there we go. We have a pretty good looking table. Man, look at that. That's pretty neat. Hopefully you guys were able to follow this, and if you were, great job. If you got stuck on some parts, just watch it again and take your time. Don't worry, this is a learning process. It will take some time, but yeah, hopefully you guys got through this pretty easy. And this is going to be part one of making this table. Part two, we're actually going to be making the table legs, and that's going to be really fun because we're not just going to make some simple cubes like that. We're going to make some very stylized table legs coming down. So hang in there for that. Go ahead, if you have this and you have some spare time, go ahead and watch that second part, and hopefully you are able to make a pretty good looking table. Again, if you have trouble, just rewatch the video, play it back slowly, and take your time. This is a learning process. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next part.